All right, we're good. So let's get started. My name is Brendon Pohner. I'm the Financial Literacy Coordinator here at STCC with the Office of Student Financial Services. Part of my job is to help people understand the FAFSA, understand financial aid, apply properly, and get the most financial aid possible and have the easiest experience. We got cats here, they'll probably be joining us, but have the easiest experience possible, the smoothest experience possible, I'd say. So with that in mind, I've set up a PowerPoint presentation for you that is just going to kind of tell you my best tips and advice, my best practices for filling out the FAFSA. A little bit about myself. I've been helping people complete the FAFSA for about 8 years now. I started around 2013. My calculations, I've done probably about 500 per year for 8 years. So that's probably about 4,000 FAFSAs I filled out altogether. So I do know this form pretty well. So my idea here is just to kind of give you the tips and tricks I use every day to help make your life with the FAFSA and financial aid a little bit easier. So, and like I said before to you, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'd rather answer your questions than just speak right at you. But if you just want to sit and listen, that's fine too. So with that in mind, I'm going to get started with the PowerPoint. So I'll share my screen. There it is. And give me 1 second, slideshow, make this full screen so you guys can see it. There we go. Okay, so get started. Completing the FAFSA, like I said, helpful tips for applying for financial aid. All right, so I already introduced myself, but here's my info once again. I am the Financial Literacy Coordinator. My name is Brendon Pohner. If you want to reach out to me, you want to contact me, my email address is right here. My phone number is there as well. That's my direct line. That's not the Student Financial Services line. That is my direct line. I am available for help with the FAFSA and student loans, help with basic personal finance, and available to do workshops and presentations like this as well. Okay, so quite simply, you might be familiar with this, but what is the FAFSA? It is an acronym. It stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. Now, I don't expect anybody to remember that, but if you forget everything else, try to remember that first F stands for free. Don't ever pay anybody to do this. Don't ever pay a website or anybody else. It's a free application that you do not need to pay for. All right. Also, it is a one-stop financial aid application for all U.S. colleges, especially STCC. And the reason I say that is in the vast majority of situations, I'd say 99%, this is the only application you're going to need to fill out to get all the financial aid you need to help cover your bill at STCC. All right. There are the rare exceptions to that, but like I'd say, I'd estimate about 99% of people only need to fill all this out to get all the aid they need to go to STIC. It's also an application for federal, state, and institutional money. So federal, obviously federal government, state, the state of Massachusetts, or whatever state you're going to college in, and institutional being the college. So you have 3 sources where you can get financial aid from just by filling out this one application. All right. Any questions on any of that? Okay, then I'm going to keep on going.
Not yet.
Okay, I'll keep on going. Feel free to ask though, Brianna.
Okay.
All right, so first tip, number 1, only use the official website. When I was saying that the first F stands for free, any other website you use besides this one listed on the screen here is going to charge you. I think they've kind of, this is starting to feel to me like it's a thing in the past. If you Google FAFSA, this is the first thing that comes up. I don't know of much of any sites anymore doing this, but still just make sure you use this site. All the other sites are going to try and make you pay for it. Last I heard it was something around $80, and that was, you know, a few years back. So it's probably even more if you go to any of those. So stick with FAFSA.ed.gov. It's the official website. It's not going to make you pay, so stick with that. My second tip, complete it as early as you possibly can. All right. Now, what that would mean ideally is October 1st of each year. So the FAFSA that's available to do for September coming up, September of this year, was available to do as early as October 1st of 2020. Now, obviously, we can't do that anymore. Going forward, that's the ideal way to do it. On October 1st every year. But that being said, even if you haven't done it then, even if it's right now, you still haven't done it, just get it done as soon as possible. It's still going to benefit you. The reasons why, earlier you do it, the more money is still available. A lot of money out there is first come, first serve. A lot of money out there has deadlines. So the earlier you get this done, the more chance you have to get more money. All right. Also, less hassle. If you've ever been done financial aid before, you know we can ask for a lot of information. It can be a pain. It can be tough. It's tough for everybody on our side and your side. So the earlier you get this done, the less hassle it's going to be, in the sense that you have more time to fix any problems that pop up. You'll also have more time before your billing deadline. When you sign up for classes, you sign up for financial aid, we give you a billing deadline. And the more time you have to get it done before that deadline, the more time you have to get the financial aid done. So you're not rushing, it's more plausible, and you can get your money in time before they drop your classes, okay? Also, it gives you more time to get money for books. If you've never bought books before, or if you have, you know how expensive they are. They're super expensive. The earlier you get them, the more used books are going to be out there, the more rental books are going to be out there. And also, if you just do this last second, a lot of times classes can start before you ever get money for books. So it's always, always, always your best bet to do this as soon as you possibly can. If you remember, write it down in your calendars, October 1st of every year, do it again, and it's going to benefit you. All right, so next thing, before you get started, know what you're going to need. All right, so very simply, your basic info. This is the first thing. It's pretty straightforward. Your full legal name, your date of birth, social security number, and if you're not a U.S. citizen, they're going to also ask for your alien registration number. So you got to know your basic info. Most people know this already, so not a big deal, but just have it ready if you don't know it by heart. You're also going to need your FSA ID. Now, that's really just a fancy word for your username and password that you're going to use to log into the FAFSA. All right. It acts as your signature. It acts as your login, and you can make one if you haven't, or reset your password if you forgot it at the website below. You can also do it at the FAFSA website. That's the official website for the username and password system. It doesn't really matter which one you use, but I figured I'd give that one there. My advice to you is keep this simple when you make it. Make sure you write it down, keep it safe somewhere. Everyone that I work with, oh no, I'll remember that, I'll remember that. Nobody ever remembers their username and password for this, because you use it once a year. This isn't something you use every day. Once a year, pretty much tops. So make sure you write it down, keep it safe, keep it in a folder somewhere. You know where it is. It'll really benefit you going forward. It's getting more and more rare, but I have seen cases in the past where people forget their username and password. They can't get it back because they made it too complicated. And then all of a sudden they can't get financial aid. They can't go to college just because of a simple username and password. So just do yourself a favor. I'm not trying to scare you, but write it down, keep it safe, because otherwise it's going to be nothing but problems for you. Okay, so moving right along. Your 2019 taxes is the next thing you're doing. So I know every time I say that, people kind of look at me funny. 2019 shouldn't it be 2020 taxes? No, it is 2019 taxes. That's for the school year starting in September. The way you want to look at it is whatever year you're starting. If it's 2021, you're going back 2 years from that. If you're starting in 2022, September 2022, you go back 2 years to 2020 taxes. So that's how that's going to work. Another question I get from a lot of people during these is the timeline. Or how long does this cover you for? So if you fill out this FAFSA, the 2021, 2022, it will start covering you in September of this year, and it will cover you up to the summer of the following year. Okay, so it is one school year it covers you for: fall of 2021, spring of 2022, and possibly summer of 2022, depending on your eligibility as well. So 2019 taxes, You can get a copy from your accountant if you don't have them. If you've lost them, go to your accountant. If you did it on taxact.com or TurboTax, you can go on there, usually download one pretty easily. If that's not going to work for you, you can go on the irs.gov and you can download a, what do they call it? A tax transcript there. It's not going to look quite the same, but it has all the same information. You can download it online or you can have it mailed to your house. Online, you'll get it right then and there. Mail takes 5 to 10 days, but tends to be a little bit easier. So it's up to you, whatever. If you're in a bit of a rush, you might want to just get it online. If you didn't file taxes, you're not going to need taxes. So a lot of people, oh, I didn't file taxes. What do I do? If you didn't file taxes for that year, you don't need anything like that. If the only exception is if you worked but didn't file taxes, like you just made a few $100, you'll want to have your W-2s. If you know where they are, you want to have your W-2s to get your income off of there. They're not going to ask you as much. They'll just really ask you for your income when you tell them you didn't file taxes, but it's good to have your W-2s for that. All right, so next. Parents info. So you may need all the same info for your parents. I would advise anybody watching this to check your dependency status at studentaid.gov. There is if you just go to their site, they have the search bar, you search dependency status, they'll have a little flow chart so you can figure out whether or not you need your parents' information. Quite simply, the easiest way to tell, if you're over 24, you're all set. If you're under 24, it's a little more complicated. You're under 24, you have to either be married, have children that you support. There's a bunch of other stuff I'm not going to go into here because I don't really want to confuse people, but easiest way, go to studentaid.gov, follow their flow chart. If you have any questions, you can call me, you can call the financial aid office. Everybody there is pretty good at figuring this out for you. But if you're under 24, you're not married, don't have any kids, most likely you're going to need all the same info we just went through for your parents. So username and password, basic information, and their 2019 taxes. If you're over 24, you're married, you have kids that you support, you won't need anything from them. Okay, so the dependency questions. I just want to go over these a bit because a lot of people get to this point on the FAFSA and it is a confusing part. It will say dependency status will be the tab that you're under. So you get here, my best advice is just read all the questions very carefully and answer them honestly. Living on your own does not make you independent automatically. A lot of kids think that, hey, you know, I'm over 18 or I live on my own. My parents don't help support me. I should be independent. It's not how it works. It is, you have to be able to answer yes to any one of the questions they ask you. Kind of like the stuff that I went over earlier. If you can't answer yes to any of them, you are dependent upon your parents, and don't simply exclude your parent info. If you think that something's wrong, or I couldn't answer yes to any of those, but I really think I shouldn't be putting parents' information in here, give us a call. Here's our number right here. Tell us what's going on. We can usually help you figure it out because there are some exceptions to these rules. Not many, but there are, and you might fall under them. Okay, so just read them carefully, answer them honestly. If you don't answer them honestly, it's not like we're going to throw you in jail, but we're really, really good at catching on, and it's just going to make your life more difficult. We're going to make you go back and fix it anyway, so you may as well answer honestly. Like I said, living on your own, being over 18 doesn't make you independent from your parents. Don't simply leave their info out. If you have any questions on any of it, give us a call. We'll help you out. We'll help you figure it out because it can be confusing. Okay, so next we have household size. So you get to the section that's about your household size. Now make sure you fill this out carefully because it can be a little confusing. This is a place where I see people make a lot of mistakes and maybe miss out on getting themselves a little bit of extra money that can help them out. So take your time. There's like 4 questions, I believe, in this section. Take your time, read them carefully, make sure you answer them exactly as they are as they're worded, okay? Let's see, don't be afraid to add other people. So one of the things they'll have a section asking about yourself, maybe your parents, your spouse, any siblings, and they may ask about other people that live with you that aren't related to you, people that may live with you that you support more than 50% financially. If there is anybody in your family like that, like if you, I said related, but that doesn't matter. Like if you say support an elderly parent or support like a niece or a nephew, you can put them on there and it can help you out getting a little bit more financial aid. So it always helps to put that. I think people they get cold feet when it comes to that, because I've seen a lot of people that I've helped. I go back and try and fix that section with them. They don't put anybody there, and it turns out they're taking care of a few people that aren't within the nuclear family, and they could have put them on there and gotten a little bit more money. So like I said, being accurate can get you more financial aid. So be accurate, be honest, read them thoroughly, and just take your time and be careful with them. Again, if you have any questions, you can always give us a call. All right, so this, if you forget everything else, this is the biggest thing you can do to make your financial aid process go as smoothly as possible. You want to use what's called the IRS data retrieval tool to fill out your taxes portion of the FAFSA. You'll get to the point where they're asking about your financial info. It asks you if you want to download your taxes using the IRS data retrieval tool. I don't know why I see so many people skip this. I think they see IRS, they must be intimidated, but I see so many people skip this. And number one, if you use it, it's going to download your taxes right from the IRS database. It fills everything out for you. So all the most technical, the most difficult questions are going to be filled out for you. You don't have to do the work. It does it for you. So that's wonderful right there. On top of that, when we get it, we can see that you did that. We can see that you downloaded it. So we know if you download it, that information has to be accurate because it came right from the IRS. If you type it in, we can see that. We know you could have made a mistake. So we tend to ask for more information to back it up. So if you download your taxes, your financial aid is going to go process through faster, and we're going to ask you less questions. It's going to be less hassle. So always use the IRS data retrieval tool if you can. Okay, there are some instances where you can't, but they're rare. So if you can use it, use it. Tips for making it work, because it is a little bit finicky. Have your taxes in front of you. Some people hear, oh, I can just download my taxes. Why do I need them? Well, because what you have to do is they want your name, address, a couple other things off of your taxes, and they have to be exact, like letter for letter. Like, so if somebody spelled your last name wrong, like your accountant, you have to spell it wrong on the form to make it work. So my advice, have your taxes with you, copy the info they asked for exactly right off the form, and then it should work. If it doesn't, then, well, sometimes it just doesn't, and that leads you right into the next slide. If the data retrieval tool doesn't. So if it doesn't work, the FAFSA will give you line numbers to look at on your taxes. So you take the taxes, you look down the right-hand side, they're going to have line numbers for you to look at. The FAFSA will tell you which line to get your information off of. So again, you go slow, use the line numbers, give it exactly what it's asking for. Okay. That's the best I can tell you. Again, if you have any questions, you can always give us a call. I can help you out. But if you go line for line, you read exactly what it says. It says, take this number off of line 8B or line 13 or 14. Just do that and you're golden. Now, just say you get it wrong by accident, because it's possible. The worst thing that's going to happen is we're going to ask for a copy of your taxes to clarify things. It's not like you're going to get in trouble. We're not going to hunt you down, throw you in jail. We'll just ask for a copy of your taxes, clarify things. It's a little more work. It's a bit of a pain, but you get it done right, and you get the financial aid you deserve. Okay. Brianna, any questions so far? I've been kind of flying through this so far.
No, it's just all really good information. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so next. Other income questions. So say you download your taxes, everything fills out for you, everything's going great. You're still going to run into some questions in the income section that the FAFSA doesn't fill out for you. There are a few, and they can be intimidating. They can be confusing. In my experience, these are questions that very, very few people need to fill out. they just look intimidating. So my advice for you is just use your best judgment. You're most likely on track. And if you're wrong, again, we're just going to ask you for a little bit of extra information to clarify. It's not going to get you in trouble. It's not going to destroy your chances of getting financial aid. We'll literally just ask you, hey, can you clarify? Okay, so you get to a question that didn't fill out on its own. You're not sure about it. Use your best judgment. Understand that most people don't need to answer these questions. And if you don't recognize it, you likely don't need to put anything. Like I'm trying to think. There's something like earnings from a cooperative work study program, some odd one like that I've literally never seen anyone have to answer before. So if you see something like that, you're like, what is that? I don't know what that is. If you don't know what it is, you likely didn't get it. So you can just leave it as 0, move on. Again, if we get it and you've made a mistake, we're not going to hunt you down. We're not going to throw you in jail. We're just going to ask you for like a copy of your taxes or maybe fill out another form or something for us. It'll be a bit of a pain, but it's really no big deal. So that's what I'd say. Other income question, just use your best judgment. Trust yourself. Okay. All right. Sign your FAFSA with the FSA ID. I think for most people, this is obvious, but I want to say it anyways. Sign your FAFSA with your FSA ID. That's that username and password you use to log in. It's also your signature. Okay. It's the quickest, easiest, and most effective option. It gets it done right then and there. It's secure. It's got all your info on it, so they match it up. They know it's you. Boom, your info's put through. They have a couple other options. One is the signature page. I would recommend you avoid that at all costs. Sometimes people have to use it in situations like they don't have a US Social Security number, so they can't make an FSA ID and they can't sign it with that. Or if they're signing it, they need a parent to sign it and the parent lives in another country. That happens here and there. They obviously wouldn't have a US Social Security number. So what the student has to then do is print out the page, send it to the parent has to sign it, send it back. That is one of the only situations where I'd ever say use the signature page. Otherwise, you want to use that FSA ID. The third option they give you, I don't even know why it's there. It's just never use it. It's called submit without signatures. It doesn't, the FAFSA doesn't go through. It submits, but it doesn't process. It goes nowhere. It just kind of sits in limbo until you come back and sign it. So I don't even see the point of having it there. Don't use that. Don't ever use that. Don't ever submit without signatures. Use a signature page only if you absolutely have to, and use the FSA ID as much as possible. If you have any trouble with it, you can give us a call. There is a helpline for it that you can just Google FSA ID helpline, and that'll get you the help you need. Or like I said, you can call our office. Okay, so what to do next? So once you've signed it, you're done. You're going to get a page telling you you're done. It's going to give you a little bit of information about what you could possibly get for financial aid. But everybody I help seems to have the same question. What do I do next? What happens next? So really, best thing to do is make sure your student email is set up. You might already have it set up. You might not have set it up yet. You might be kind of locked out of it. Make sure it's working and make sure you monitor your email and also your mail closely, because what's going to happen? Oh, IT help desk number there. If you haven't set up your email, call them up. They'll help you set it up. So what's going to happen once you finish this? It goes to the federal government for a few days. They process it and then they send it to STCC. Once we get it, we're going to take a look at it. We will send you an email when we get it, and we'll send you an email if we need more information. So you want to watch your email account to see, number one, when you get it, and number two, if we need more information for you before we can complete your financial aid. As soon as we get that information from you, or the sooner we get that information from you, the sooner we can get your financial aid done, the sooner we can get you the money that you need. So monitor your email and your mail closely. Call us if you have any questions. If you don't know what's going on, it's been a while, you're wondering, you can give us a call at that number. You can give me a call at the number I gave you guys earlier, and ask us what's going on. If you get something you don't understand, call us, ask us. Don't ignore it. Don't try and fudge your way through it. Call us up. We'll be happy to answer it for you, answer your questions. That being said, return any additional info we ask for as soon as possible. The sooner you get it back to us, the sooner we can get you financial aid, okay? And obviously, the sooner you get it, for a lot of reasons that I went over earlier, is better. Billing deadlines, books, just peace of mind. So set up your email account, watch it closely, call us if you have any questions, and get us back any additional info we ask for as soon as possible. Brianna, any questions on any of that?
No.
Okay, cool. So we're just about done then. So yeah, I was just going to ask you if you had any questions, but it doesn't seem like you do. If you do, please let me know. But other than that, that's my info right there. Again, I'm the financial literacy coordinator. My email's right there. It can be reached on my email. You can call me directly. I'm available again for assistance with your FAFSA. So if you try this on your own, you have trouble, you get stuck, give me a call. Basic personal finance, anything like that, workshops, presentations, whatever you need. And also our number at the office right here, if you just want to call the general line, is 755-4214. All right. Brianna, sure, no questions. You're good with all this? You think you got it?
I am. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you for coming. I'm glad to have you, and I hope it helped. Okay, call me if you
Yeah,
need me.
absolutely. I will. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You as well.